royal sources claim that it is true that Harry is concerned about where he would be seated during King Charles's coronation. Of course, Harry needs to make Meghan happy for whatever reason, and Meghan is demanding that Harry appear as close to the King and Prince William as he possibly can. Well, of course, the problem is the king is going to be rather busy at his own coronation, so it's not like Harry's going to be able to sit there next to Daddy, and William is not going to put up with Harry anymore, meaning that he refuses to see him, he's not going to get near him, he's not going to speak to him. And reportedly, only Prince William will be giving obeisance to the king on that day, unless maybe they include Prince Edward, although I don't think that's going to happen. Harry is not a working royal, which was his decision, so Harry can just enjoy being completely out of the action and a mere member of the audience by his own choosing. Harry and Meghan are the ones who chose this, let's not forget that fact. They just weren't intelligent enough to look down the road for a couple of years to understand how their decision would play out. By relentlessly trashing his own family, Harry has chosen to be an outcast. They did get the message across to Meghan, though, that it would be better if she did not attend the coronation. I'm not sure if she was even invited. I kind of don't think she was invited, because I suspect if she had been invited, she would show up with a fresh spray tan and all kinds of bronzer on and an overpriced, ill-fitting dress. Harry is going to represent their little family. Well, I don't believe they have any children, but anyway, he's going to represent the two of them. But Harry reportedly is not going to be in the UK very long. Supposedly, he's just going to fly in for the ceremony and then fly right back to California. Now, there's supposed to be a meal right after the coronation. I don't know if Harry was invited. He could have been, but also maybe not. No world leaders can trust him not to divulge any private conversation that he might overhear, and of course, his family doesn't want him casting a dark shadow on such a lovely day. Harry is basically poison to them at this point. So this brings up the interesting question of where they're going to stick Harry. Where is he going to sit? He's definitely not going to be in the front row. He's not going to be anywhere close to William or Catherine, and I don't think Princess Anne wants to sit beside him either. All the royals except for Eugenie and Princess Beatrice, as they are his close friends and cousins. I think nobody else would want to sit beside him though. Harry thought that he was at least going to get to sit behind his older brother, but word on the street has it that Harry in fact is going to be in the 10th row. Is this a joke? I'm not sure, or could it be true? I don't know, folks. I kind of think this rumor might be true. I mean, we know Harry's not going to be seated anywhere near the rest of the royals, so might he be sitting next to some long-lost cousin? Maybe. I suspect, though, the king and queen do not want him to be in any of the photos of the coronation, so you know they're going to tuck him away somewhere out of sight. They're probably just figuring it's easy to sit him somewhere far away so that way they don't have to hide his scowl behind a big candle the way that they covered up Meghan's face during the funeral for the late queen. If Harry really is seated in the 10th row, though, he needs to understand this is his own fault. I do hope he's happy with himself. Actually, I don't hope that he's happy with himself. I hope that he feels at least a little bit uncomfortable during the coronation. In fact, I don't think Harry's going to be happy for quite a long time. First step is he needs to get away from that witch he lives with. Harry can only blame himself for the predicament he finds himself in, though. I think the firm is way out of his and Meghan's league. After 3 years, what Harry and Meghan do for the coronation really doesn't matter. This is such an important event. There have only been 2 coronations in more than 100 years. I mean, you would have to be at least 80 years old to even remember the last one. It's a religious, spiritual, and state ceremony, and basically the making of a contract and a marriage between the monarch and the realms. Even though Harry is the son of the king, he has basically resigned from royal life, and so he doesn't have an important role in the coronation. He's like all the other non-working members of the royal family. And there are plenty of other non-working members of the royal family. For example, the Queen Mother's descendants. Well, that's a huge family because she was one of 10 siblings, but we don't hear much about them because they all just live their lives. And I do not believe Harry ever considered what he might be giving up when he ditched his family. His entire life, all his mistakes were swept under the rug by his family, who then immediately forgave him. His mother did refer to him as dim, and I don't believe Harry was ever given any real responsibilities. Instead, he was able to just goof his way along. It has been said that maybe he suffers from dyslexia, and even though many people with that same problem have meaningful lives, well, Harry decided to go down another path. So how different would things have turned out if Harry had never met and married Meghan? I think pretty different. I don't believe, though, that Harry really would have been happy. Thanks to his drinking and drugs, a smart woman would never have wanted to stay with him for very long. Most of us understand that life is full of ups and downs, and it takes a lot of work to succeed. Harry just wasn't capable of dealing with anything that he disliked, so I don't know if he's ever going to find happiness. But the royal family does not deserve what he has been throwing their way. They have had to put up with so much ill will from him. Looking back, it probably would have been better if the royal family just told Harry that no, he was not allowed to marry Meghan. That would have meant that he would have quit the family, which was unacceptable to them, though. They thought that eventually Meghan would adapt. Even before the wedding, she continued showing her flaws, though. She was so disrespectful, she didn't even try to adapt to the royal ways. Over and over again, Meghan just ignored anything that she did not personally approve of, so she turned out to be a big failure. I still remember on the day of their wedding the look on the face of her late majesty. I mean, she was not happy with the way Meghan was dressed. And then everything went downhill from then on. Now, reportedly, one of Harry's latest demands is that he should be able to come to the coronation wearing his ceremonial military uniform with all the medals. And reportedly, Charles has not yet responded. It would be out of royal protocol, though. Harry wants to be seen in uniform, and he wants to be photographed, and he wants to have a photo to give Archofficial, because he's trying to give Archofficial, whoever he really is, the impression that Harry's some big, important member of the military. But I doubt he's going to be telling Archofficial about how many people he killed, how many Taliban members, like he was playing some video game. He does, however, enjoy promoting himself as something that he will never be. In this case, an important, integral part of the military. I'm guessing Harry's just going to continue to smoke his cannabis and pump himself up as the war hero that he certainly never was. So Charles did want Harry and William beside him in one photo, which the courtiers advised against. But if this is some kind of quick fly-in, fly-out situation, and to satisfy Netflix's demands, I don't know when that would even happen. I personally believe that Harry should not even be allowed to take up any seat. He shouldn't be allowed in the building. In my personal view, Harry is somebody who is classified as a traitor. In the old days, you know he would be locked up in the Tower, and Meghan too. There would be no Sussexes. Today's news revelations against his family can only be classified as treason. Or maybe I need to look the word up again. Maybe I'm misunderstanding. And you, do you agree with me? Please tell me your opinion below in the comments. If you think my video is useful, please remember to like and share it with anyone else who would enjoy it.